hear me? Oh, nice. Hey, it's me, Percy. Percy Lane. You can just call me Peter, though. Welcome to the grand opening month of Endro's Tech Museum. Since I'm introducing myself anyway, let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm the owner and manager of this location, as you know. I've been interested in Endro, Retro, all that kind of stuff since I was a young kid, mainly because I had a relative who actually worked at one of those places, so I heard a lot about it growing up. Been a dream of mine actually to run one of these damn places, and we've been open for like what, almost a month now. So I would say my dream is working out for me. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. I'm sure you're a bit curious as to why I'm calling you in at the start of your shift. Well, I have a few special instructions for you as you're working through the day. If you were just acting as a normal security guard, I probably wouldn't have called you. I mean, you'd barely be doing your job. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, this place is guarded excessively. The odds of anyone attempting to break into this place and actually succeeding are really low. Trust me. At least, during the day. Uh, anyway, you'll be working your shift in the back storage and supplies area. We've made you a bit of an office there, as you know. This is where we keep wires, costumes, any kind of parts really, and of course, fully functioning animatronics. Now, that's the thing. We do have animatronics in your area, but they don't exactly meet the criteria of fully functioning. Because of the nature of our agreement with RTCO, the big company that kind of sponsors this location, basically, animatronics we find and collect from the old locations eventually have to be transferred here, regardless of if they've been fully repaired and retrofitted with the newer technology yet. We tend to remove the older tech from the animatronics to make them function better, plus preserving that old stuff for historical value is always good. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that the animatronics we have here right now, two of them, are not exactly functioning as they should be. This means that they can often move suddenly, twitch, or, walk around. Now, I know that sounds bad, but there really isn't anything to worry about. Most of these errors are caused by a clash of old internal mechanisms and new ones, so it's unlikely that they'll do anything super unexpected, even if they're, a little erratic at times. In fact, we've developed a few simple procedures to negate the issue entirely and return the animatronics back to a docile state if need be. Let's get to specifics. Most of those animatronics from Endro's Cartoony Fun were mysteriously lost in the fire that burned down the place, but a few did remain. One of those robots was named Sammy Samington. He's short, orange, and also happens to be seated right behind you. Now, that might sound dangerous, but trust me, you'll be fine. Those old Endro's Cartoony Fun animatronics had a bit of a glitch that when they were exposed to especially brighter colored lights, a sort of system restart would take place in their internal systems. So, to combat any potentially unwanted movements from Sammy, we've equipped you with a bright flash beacon. This thing's so bright it'll blind you for a second. Means it'll do the job. Now, I doubt it'll come to it, but if you really need to, you have this at your disposal. Just be careful. You can only use it a few times before it runs out of gas, so to speak. Now, what's more important is Endro. Yes, the original Endro from the original location that everyone in this city seems to be just so fond of. He's here. You'll see him on cam 6 or 7 whenever those cameras become enabled for you, which should be soon. What Endro does though is odd. He seems to be fixated on exiting this area and entering the public area past cam 8 into cam 1. It's weird because it seems oddly specific for him to do that repeatedly. Our technicians aren't too sure what causes this, but a working theory is that since Endro's location tracking system was put into place, but a lot of, the rest of the modifications haven't been made yet, he's trying to route himself to the Endro stage, even though he shouldn't really be there right now? I don't know. Now, that's an issue, obviously, because I doubt our customers would really be too fond of a giant destroyed animatronic beast jumping through the doors. So, you'll need to keep them in this area by any means necessary. Luckily, you aren't alone in this. We developed a 4-step method for you to resolve any issues with Endro. Listen up, it's important. Step 1. You find Endro. You can use the cameras to locate which hallway he's moving into, or, don't. But the bottom line is, you walk up to one of the hallways before you can cross it. Step 2. Endro, by this point, will notice you. He's wired to respond to any potential customers or, humans in general, so he's going to turn towards you. Do not let him see you. Hide behind the doorway so he doesn't spot you. Step 3. If you hide from him and he doesn't see you, congratulations, you have just triggered Endro's system recalibration. You'll know it's begun when you start to hear repeated metallic clicking sounds come from Endro. This system basically just exists as a failsafe, but you can take advantage of it here. Run back to the office before it ends and flip up your monitor. Lastly, step 4. Look at either cam 6 or 7. You want to launch a signal beam which will intercept Endro's system recalibration and direct him to move back to where he started. Now, what's important is that you do it in the right room. For the most effective range, you want to set off the beam in the camera farthest from the hallway Endro is in. So if Endro is to your left, you want to do it in cam 6. And if he's on your right, you want to do it in cam 7. Remember that. You can activate a signal beam by going on cam 6 or 7, as you already know, and pressing the gray button on the bottom left. Don't do it too much though, it kind of tends to interfere with the camera interface and cause errors, which you don't want. If you mess up any of these steps, particularly the first 2, don't fret. While those original Endro animatronics never really had the same glitch as the cartoony fun ones, in the worst case scenario, if Endro sees you, you can use it to briefly mess with some of the newer systems and force them away. The only issue is, this method tends to have, unforeseen, unintended consequences. Never do it unless you have to. And hey, just like that, you're playing your part in maintaining this brand and taking Endros in a bold new direction. I appreciate you working here. That's all I have to say for today. Remember, Flash Beacon, Endro's 4-step method, locate, hide, leave, and signal beam. I think that's it. I'll let you get back to work. Shift ends at 5 p.m. You can leave then. Bye-bye. Operator calling in again. So, we got some kind of bad news for you. Apparently, Artico decided now's a good time to dump a bunch of our unrepaired, barely functioning robots at this location. So, you're probably going to have to deal with a few more than just Sammy and Endro as of today. One more animatronic that was brought in recently to the back, her name's Juliet. She's, you know, a Detroit ballerina wearing a blue dress. She's from that whole Endro's Cartoony Fun location. I wouldn't worry much about her because not only do her systems seem to be fairly docile from the get-go, but also that flash beacon you have should work on her too, so whatever. What's more important tonight though has nothing to do with your area, Artico, or anything. On Cam 9 you'll see CB. On Mondays we tend to do a show where we deconstruct the animatronics and show the internal systems live to the customers, but in all other days of the week, we tend to have, you know, CB Skill Arena up on their stages. Fortunately for you, Skill Arena is undergoing repairs, so you'll only have to keep track of CB. What do I mean by that, you might be asking? Well, you know, what we've kind of noticed is those customers, I mean, you know, they're impatient, you know? You'd be surprised how many people are too lazy to walk past the building and just demand a CB performance be brought to them, instead of them going to it. So, instead of hassling with these dumb customers, we made it so that the daytime security guard could move around CB on the cameras to, you know, wherever he needs to be. Now, those people can't exactly complain anymore, eh? Whenever customers reach a certain threshold, you'll get a notification on your monitor directing to what camera CB needs to be moved to. To move CB there, simply press the CB select button on the bottom left of whatever camera he's on, and then press CB transfer on whatever camera he needs to go. It's real simple. Don't take too long though, this whole thing has been a double-edged sword for us. Now if the customers know that they can demand the animatronics to be in certain areas, if you don't do it fast enough, they might start to get a little, touchy with CB. We don't want that. That should be simple enough. I don't have anything else to really say to you tonight. I tell you what though, if you're ever bored, you've got front row seats to the original CB show on those cameras. So, enjoy. Bye-bye.
you.